What's up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodgy, and this is your sports show for Friday, May 10th, 2024. Thank God it's Friday. This is all brought to you by Hobby Habit right here in LeGrand. 411 First Street, they have a great selection of everything for your hobby needs. Whether it's Traxxas RC cars, Magic the Gathering cards, or STEM supplies for your kids, Hobby Habit has it all, just for the fun of it. Today's show, I'm going to talk about a couple things, and then we're going to get right into these interviews. EOU softball. They're doing a fundraiser up at EOU for all the athletics teams called Bleed Blue, Give Gold. Well, the softball team's getting ready to go to a national tournament, and they need your guys' help. Follow their Instagram at EOUSB, and they're going to put out some stuff over the next week on how you can help them raise money. This EOU softball team's coming off of a awesome week. I mean, they won the CCC tournament. They finished second in the regular season. Not only did they win that tournament, they ran the table. They didn't lose. They're a number one seed. They're traveling to Lawrenceville, Georgia, and it's just so exciting. They're going to play on Tuesday in the first round pool play, double elimination of the NAIA National Tournament. Well, of course, I'm going to have Coach Christian on, and I asked Coach Christian, give me a couple players. Well, one of them, Caitlin Evans. Here she is. Kate, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You go by Kate.
I do go by Kate. Yes.
Let's talk about this. Let's just talk about it right off the hop. Tournament champions. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed that you guys didn't win the regular season. You know what I mean? Should have. The pieces were all in place.
I agree.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, oh no, here we go again. But then you guys come out in the CCC tournament and just run the table.
Right.
Describe that a little bit. What was that feeling like?
Oh, it was a feeling like nothing else. I mean, every day was just one game, so we really just left it all on the field that one day, one game at a time, and just our pitchers were there for us, our defense was there for us, and our bats really came alive the last game. So.
Yeah. What about the snow? Did that affect anything? I mean, you guys ended up having games pushed to Monday when we were thinking we were probably going to be home Sunday night.
Right. It really just canceled the day for us. We weren't ever really in the snow, except for after we won the title, it started hailing on us, but we didn't care as much then. But no, it just gave us a day off for us to do some team bonding, catch up on homework.
So talk about the team a little bit. This season, it's your first year, Mountie softball, and you come onto this team. What's the chemistry like?
The chemistry on this team is unreal. I mean, we all just get along so well. I know that there's any person on the team I can come to for anything, and that they could do the same for me. So it's really just a big old family that we have going on right now.
That's how college athletics are supposed to be.
I agree.
I mean, that's the ideal way a program is it's like a family. I always tell coaches a lot, you not only are you a coach, but you're like a extension of mom or dad.
Right.
And it's 100% true. This team this year, you guys ended up second in the CCC behind OIT. Beat OIT 2 out of 3 though during the regular season, and this team. I mean, I would argue that it's one of the best EOU softball teams ever, in history. What's the goal for it? Where do you guys want to be at the end when it's all said and done this year?
When it's all said and done, I mean, I'd love to be a national champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's in the cards for us. I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep practicing hard, keep preparing, getting ready, playing as a team.
I think it's in the cards too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Let's talk about you a little bit. How'd you end up at EOU?
Well, I originally was planning on coming to a university, and then it didn't work out because of COVID and all that. And so I went to community college for 2 years, and then Coach sent me an email, and she said, "Hey, we're interested." Came down for a little visit, and I really liked it.
One thing led to another?
Yeah.
What do you like about LeGrand? What do you like about this area?
I really like small town living, so I like that. It's 10 minutes to get from one side of town to the other. It's really just a little community going on, and, it's got, not great weather, but I don't mind the snow. I don't mind the
Once we get past all this, the weather's awesome in the summertime. What are you going to school for?
Elementary education.
So you want to be a teacher?
Yes.
What grade?
Probably 3 and under.
Third grade and under?
Yeah.
Or just little kids?
Yeah, just the littles.
That's about the only ones I think I could
Yeah.
teach. Like, I don't like attitude, so like once you get past that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's like,
Right.
the 10 years from now, where will you be? What are you doing?
I imagine myself teaching not too far from here, probably. And my mom's also a teacher, so I imagine not very far from her and my dad. So, teaching, maybe coaching Little League or something like that.
Little League, you don't want to coach
Maybe.
any higher levels?
I don't know. Start small.
Yeah.
10 years, that's still pretty soon.
Hey, you say that, but
Right.
you're gonna snap your fingers and it's gonna be 10 years
gonna
down the
happen.
road.
Right.
Trust me on that. With this team this year, you guys have had pretty consistent pitching and hitting actually.
Mm-hmm.
What's been Coach Christian's like focus, like in the dugout in practice? What does she say to you guys?
During games, it's a lot about energy, and it's a lot about like keeping our bats alive. During practices, I mean, we talk a lot about playing together as a team. That's something Coach Woody brings up a lot.
Yeah.
Just playing for each other and not playing for ourselves, kind of thing.
It's a good idea always.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about softball is, sports is about momentum. Like momentum has a lot to do with it. Energy. Softball even more. It's crazy how much momentum you can generate in the dugout, and you guys have done a really good job of that this year. Like it's one of those rare sports where you're allowed to just chirp the whole
Right.
time. You know what I mean? That you can't do that in basketball, or
Right.
you don't do it. You can do it in football, but nobody's going to hear you.
Right.
You personally, do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
That's a tough pick. I would probably have to say beach, but I'm coming from 2 years off of living in Coos Bay, where I was at the beach consistently. Now that I don't have it, I do say that.
So
I miss
like
it.
Oregon coast or tropical?
A beach is a beach to me. I'll get in the water either way.
Really?
Yeah,
It's so different.
it is so different.
So different. This beach here in Oregon is cold.
Very cold.
Very cold. You go down to California and you get in, it's like 20 degrees warmer.
Right.
What about for you? Do you prefer like if you had to choose one or the other? Would you prefer like warm or cold? Like, do you want to live in like the tropics, or do you want to live like in the mountains, like here?
I would probably pick cold. I like colder weather.
You prefer
I don't like being warm. My body doesn't regulate heat very well.
So you don't like it being hot.
No, I don't wear sleeves very often in softball.
So if you had to give up one or the other, the internet or air conditioning for a month, what are you giving up? In the middle of the summer.
In the middle of the summer,
Yeah. No.
I'll
air
give up the
conditioning.
internet.
You are? You think
Yeah.
you could go a month without the internet?
Yeah, as long as I don't have classes. I'll be fine.
No way.
I'll play cards.
Yeah, I'll play
sack, so-
cars.
Yeah.
The internet, it's crazy. Like your guys' generation relies on the internet so much. When you talk about like my generation, I didn't even have the internet until I
Right.
was a senior in high school. Like,
Right.
And even then, you couldn't really rely on it because it was dial up,
Still
and it was
new,
like
yeah.
it took you. I remember downloading songs, and it would take like 4 hours for one song.
That's crazy.
And now you can just bink, and
Right.
you got the song. It's crazy. What about pizza? Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I do not like pineapple on pizza. I love pineapple, but
Yeah, cold.
that is warm.
What's your go-to pizza like if you went in and ordered?
Ooh, recently I've been into like a margarita pizza that has like artichoke hearts and like chicken on it also. So that's really good.
I like chicken bacon artichoke or whatever.
Yeah.
That one from Papa Murphy's
Yeah.
that has all the
Yeah.
good. I don't do red sauce very well, so I prefer white
Right.
sauce. If you could pick, what's your favorite food? Like anything in the whole world, what are you getting?
That's hard. I probably a lot of like Italian food, so like,
Pasta.
a lot of the carbs. I love all that.
Yeah, it's good. You
Garlic
know,
bread,
it's,
pasta,
a lot of
lasagna.
people your age say sushi. And
I do like sushi.
like sushi wasn't even popular when I was
Yeah.
in your guys' age. We didn't even. I don't even think I know what sushi was.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's just it's like one of those trends, you know, where I like sushi. I just don't like paying for it because it's,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
expensive.
yeah, and you can't just eat one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You got to eat like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
What about when it comes to heroes? Who's your hero?
My mom or my high school softball coach.
Why?
My mom is one of the strongest women that I've ever met. And she's doing special education right now. So she's a teacher. She teaches special education. And I see the stuff that she does with these kids, and I know that she's making an impression. And she's making an impression on the school and like all the staff and stuff like that. And that's just my goal in life. And my high school softball coach is also.
You can say her name.
Angela Stutzman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She was my math teacher, and she was also the varsity coach. And I think she really took me under her wing and took care of me. And she's also just one of the strongest women I've ever known. And she was so smart with school and softball. So.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about who do you try to emulate? Like not your hero, but like who do you want to be like softball wise?
Softball wise?
Yeah, you got anybody?
Well, if I'm thinking like specifically softball, I think a lot about my coach at Southwestern Oregon Community College, Coach Correa. She was very knowledgeable about the sport, and she taught me a lot about. So I didn't play outfield until I went to college, and she was an outfielder, and so she was kind of like our outfield coach, and she taught me so much about the sport and how to play and like all the like little things that you don't think about. Yeah. So.
You can always tell. Like I'm a baseball, softball dude. Like you can't get much by me when it comes to those sports, and you can always tell when somebody knows the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can tell. Like even fans, you know, like right off the bat. And those are the kind of people that I always tried to like put myself around when it came to sports was because you can learn from them. 100%. What about superhero? If you had to choose a superhero, who would you be?
Ooh. Probably Spider-Man.
Why?
I don't know. He's pretty cool.
That's a super common answer for people your age because he's like hip with your guys' age group. You know.
I mean, he can do like cool flips and stuff, and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to climb things, so I feel like it'd be really fun being able to climb and like swing. You know.
All right. Outside of sports, school, what's your hobbies? Like, what do you like to do?
I like to cook. I like to bake. I bake a lot of cheesecakes for my friends, like birthdays.
I love cheesecake. It's the best.
I got that from my mom. So.
I don't like fancy ones. I just like plain old regular cheesecake. I don't want those chocolate or fruit on it. You probably put all that stuff on it.
I like the regular one, but like with like chocolate or fruit on top. But like the classic,
so you
like,
have your
cheesecake
choice.
itself. Yeah,
I like that too. I like just a straight up plain old, Oh man, they got good cheesecake next door too.
Do they really?
Oh yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so food-wise, what do you like to cook? Like, what's your favorite dish to cook? Like, if you're having friends over and you want to impress them.
I don't know. I like to make sandwiches. I make this like Italian. I call it like Italian grilled cheese. It's like sourdough. It has pesto on it, and then it has provolone cheese and tomatoes and turkey and pepperoni.
Oh yeah.
And it's just really good.
Do you cook it like in a press, or do you
no?
you
I don't have a panini press. Yeah, I just cook it on
You
like
like to
a
make
skillet.
sandwiches and you don't have a panini press?
I know.
Oh, you need to get one.
I know.
Well, I mean, you could put anything in an air fryer nowadays.
That's
too. You
true.
could throw your sandwich in there.
That's true.
With you personally, let's talk a little bit more about you. If you had to choose one or the other, would you rather be in jail for 5 years or in a coma for 10?
Depends on why I'm in jail, but I'd probably pick jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can advance in jail.
Yeah, you're
can't
still
advance
living.
in a coma.
I don't know. I was thinking about like I'd have a lot of time to like focus on myself and like the gym and like all that kind of stuff. So
Getting smarter.
I could improve myself.
The only drawback to prison would be you have that label for life. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
You went to prison.
But also, what are you gonna do like after you're like in a coma for 10 years? You can't really explain
You
that.
wake up, like
Right.
your friends already have like 8-year-old kids. You're like, what the heck's going on here? All right, let's do a little thing that I like to do. It's called this or that, and you tell me which one.
Right.
Mac or PC?
PC.
PC?
Yeah.
What kind of phone you got?
Oh, no, not for phones, but like for computers. I have an iPhone.
You can't be a PC person and have an iPhone. It doesn't work.
Okay. Well, Mac.
Yeah,
But,
well, I mean, I'm just saying that because here in the studio, we have all PC.
Yeah.
We all have Androids because
right.
iPhones don't work well with PC. It just they don't get along well. McDonald's or Taco Bell?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell? Mm-hmm. What are you ordering at Taco Bell?
They have this Chipotle chicken ranch wrap. It's like on the value menu. I don't know if it's still on the menu.
I don't eat much of that, so it's
like
good though.
$2 for a burrito. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's tough to beat.
That's a good deal.
Sparkling water or still water? You know what still water is?
Yeah, still water.
Okay, yeah.
For
like,
sure.
So regular water or sparkling water?
Still, for sure.
Yeah, sparkling water.
I can't
is
do sparkling water.
Board games or video games?
Board games all the way.
What's your favorite board game?
I like playing with playing cards a lot.
Yeah, so do I.
I've recently been put on a game called Skip-Bo.
Yeah.
I'll play with my teammate and some of our friends.
You guys play cribbage?
I have played with my family.
Cribbage is fun.
Yeah.
Well, shameless plug, but he's also a sponsor of my show, so I can do it. My brother-in-law and sister own Hobby Habit.
Really?
The hobby store here in town.
Really?
And they sponsor my sports show, so sometimes drop in there and check it out. They
Absolutely.
They have tons of board games.
I'll have to grab some
it's
before we
awesome.
go.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Easy, huh?
Convenient.
No, and who wants to sit?
You can't go
I mean,
wrong.
I know people like to relax in a bath, but nah.
There's a time and place.
Yeah, there is. Serious or silly?
Silly all the way.
All the time.
Yeah, never serious.
Rich and famous or unknown?
Like rich and unknown or like rich?
No,
Just
rich and
unknown.
famous or just unknown? Yeah.
I'd probably go unknown.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, people say money's the root of all evil.
Yeah.
And it's so terrible. I couldn't disagree with that more.
Yeah.
Like money buys you time, right? Because if you have money, you don't have to give your
Gets you a
time
lot of
for
things.
money.
Yeah.
Which gives you a lot of freedom. It's crazy. Take a friend on your family vacation or join them on theirs.
Take a friend, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want them to do whatever your guys are doing.
Yeah, I just love my family. I mean, I love the chance of like joining other people's family, but you know, I love my parents and I also love my friend and I want them all to be together.
Yeah, right.
So.
Sweet or salty?
That's hard. Sweet?
Sweet?
Yeah.
Sweet? I like both. So
Yeah,
I like
hard.
stuff that incorporates
I
both as well.
usually have salty and then sweet. So
Okay, so let's get back to that money. Money or free time?
money or free time? Probably money.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot with free time. I like to stay busy. So
Yeah. So it's just like one thing to the next.
yeah.
Cheesecake or brownie? This is going to be an easy one.
Cheesecake all the way.
Yeah.
My mom's cheesecake specifically. So
Let's see. Breakfast or dinner?
dinner.
Dinner.
It's more versatile.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would have breakfast for dinner.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definite. Passenger or driver?
I like to drive.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm passenger all
Really?
the way. Yes. I mean, I do get a little anxious depending upon the driver, but I'd much rather just chill out and
That's
listen
fair.
to some music.
Yeah.
Let's get you a few more questions and then I'll get you out of here. This softball season, you guys are getting ready to head to Georgia tomorrow, and for the first site of the national tournament.
Right.
What kind of mindset does Coach Christian have you guys in right now? Like, what are we thinking?
She has us. We're looking at the teams that we could be playing this next week. And
Yeah, Georgia Gwinnett's tough.
Yeah.
They're not just a holdover.
Right. And we know that one of their pitchers is a lot like our
rise
pitcher,
ball
Kaylee.
pitcher, huh?
Yes, and she's got like also 5-time player of the week for her conference or something like that.
Yeah,
So
she's a stud.
I think it's really going to be a head-to-head match of, pitcher versus pitcher, batter versus batter.
Yeah.
So
It's one of the things I don't like about the way they do the national tournament sites is they had the sites pre-established, and there's only 2. So I think there's 10 altogether sites, and there's only 2 where the number 1 seed isn't the host, and you guys are in one of them.
yeah,
And Georgia Gwinnett is the host, and they're the 2 seed. I don't
Right.
like that. I think it should automatically go to whoever's the number 1 seed. I mean,
Right.
it just makes it. But we really don't have the, it would be really hard for us to do it
Yeah.
here. It really would.
yeah.
as far as when you guys are together as a team, like when you're traveling, do you have any like pet peeves? Anything just rub your, like anything anybody does, like, singing, anything that just rubs you wrong?
No, I think we all get a little irritable, like
course.
when it's like, midnight, 1 a.m. and we're coming in. But there's not really just like one thing. It's usually just when we're all tired, and you get a little snappy when you're tired. Yeah. So.
What's your best memory so far, like of this season? Softball.
I don't know. It might have to be winning CCC title. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. That would be mine.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Or when we took the series from OIT, or sweeping C of I.
Oh yeah.
Those were huge weekends for us. Yeah.
That always feels good. Like,
yeah.
It's especially in the position that everybody was in with C of I coming in, and
and especially
they were in first place in the league,
and we had to like stop mid game and come back the next day, and.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was a huge win.
Like their whoever made their schedule sucked.
Yeah.
Their schedule sucked. I felt so bad for them because like they had all these, I don't want to say easy, but easy games, and then they hit the three-headed monster like all in a row.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to do that.
Right.
Like, all right, last question, and I'll get you out of here. If pretend like I was a senior in high school and like I'm looking for a place to play softball. Coach Christian says, Kate, recruit Dodzy to come play at EOU. What are you going to tell me?
I'm going to tell you about what the schooling's like, because schooling is, we're all student athletes, not athlete students. Talk about how good the schooling is here, depending on like what they want to go for. And then probably talk a lot about like position. So like if they're an outfielder, I'd definitely recruit him and say like, Woody's one of the best outfield coach. Like he works so well with us. If they're a pitcher, then I'm going to talk about how great Coach T is. Talk about how strong we are as a team and how much it's really just a little community, a little family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Eastern Oregon, she's EOU softball junior. Kate Evans, I'm Dodzy. Kate, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's just get right into the next one. She made a huge catch in the CCC tournament. She's a sophomore. This is her second year starting on this team. I mean, she kind of is I want to say utility type player, plays a lot in the outfield. She can catch. She'll do anything. Kelly Monaghan, here it is. And Kelly, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Friday. I love Fridays, man.
Me
You can't beat it. You guys are getting ready to hit the road.
Yeah, we are. Jumping on a plane.
Tomorrow, huh?
Tomorrow.
It's Lawrenceville, Georgia, the home of Georgia Gwinnett. Mm-hmm. I don't like the way the NAIA does that. They pre-pick the tournament sites, the pool play sites, and you guys are in one of only two.
Yeah.
Where the host is not the number one seed.
I know. Isn't that be kind of weird?
I think it should be. I think they should wait to pick till after the number one seeds are decided.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're the 2 seed, you don't really deserve to have home field advantage over the one seed, but it just happens, and it only happens in 2 out of the 10. I think there's 10 different spots.
And yeah.
With this team this year, let's talk a little bit about the team real fast. Obviously, NAIA tournament, CCC tournament champions. I was talking with Kate earlier, and I said, I mean, during the regular season, I feel like there was a little bit of a letdown against Southern. Like, I really do. But we figured it out, turned around, come back, and win the CCC tournament. What was the mindset going into that tournament? I mean, you guys had just lost the CCC regular season championship on the last weekend of the season. Mm-hmm. How did you guys switch that around and come in ready to play?
I think it was a switch of mentality that everybody's back at 0-0. Like, regular season's over. You did your damage there. This is a new chance to, we're going to make it. We want nationals. This is our chance to prove that we are the team. We're worth it.
Yeah.
And just do damage.
Yeah, you guys ran the table. You didn't lose.
No.
And I'll say it again, in the toughest conference in the country. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody, I mean, some people in the Midwest would probably want to argue that with me, but I'll argue that all day. This conference is so tough. For you personally, how'd you end up at EOU?
I had a connection through my high school coach. It was actually pretty last minute, but I love small town, visited here, and just fell in love with the campus, coaches. It was from a recruiting camp that mainly got my name to Nicole. Our outfield coach, Woody, he asked me my name and before I was leaving, and he was like, all right, we want to see you come back.
Yeah.
And from there is kind of history.
What's your favorite thing about this area?
Being right by the mountains is awesome. Great small class sizes. I enjoy that. I just love the people, the community. Like I don't not only know athletes, but I know people from the community at stores, restaurants.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like I'm at home.
That's my favorite part about LeGrand is the people. Like
Yeah.
it's obviously gorgeous here.
Yes.
But
yeah.
if you throw on top of it the great people, it's like, how could you not want to live here? For you, what was your, like, going into this season, your sophomore year, what was your goal? Like, what did you want to accomplish?
Big team player, just any way that I can help everybody be successful. For myself, it's like letting go of pressure and just balling out, don't think as much. Like you're here to make the most of every opportunity. Like I have friends that are graduating. I just want them to have a great season and just get better every day.
Yeah. Softball's a huge mental game. You know that.
Oh yeah.
So being able to let go of outside pressures is huge.
That's the biggest thing for me, for sure.
If you had to like pick a word that describes this softball team this year, what's that word?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We always say together, kind of as just a little motto one of our coaches came up with, and I really think that does fit. Just, it's not about me, it's about the team.
Yeah.
Like where do we all want to go? So playing as a family, playing together, it's pretty big.
What are you going to school for?
Business administration.
What do you want to do?
I might go into HR, human resources.
No, what do you want? You want to be that person that
I
has
know.
to have the conversation with Dodzy about cussing too much at work?
Yeah, anything management.
Yeah.
Like, working with my coworkers, and might not be the prettiest job, but I like working with people, talking,
Nice.
figuring stuff out.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Starting a family for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to stay at home or move somewhere, see where my career takes me. But yeah, kids.
Staying involved with softball?
I might step away from it a little bit and then maybe wait till I have kids and see if that's what they like. I have a lot of hobbies, so other stuff I want to pursue.
That's the next question. What do you like to do outside
Oh my
of
gosh.
softball?
Big hobbies. I ride dirt bikes,
Okay.
quads, love to kayak, snowboard was huge this year. Anything outside, recreational.
You like to do things that hurt you.
Yeah.
See, if I'm your coach, you aren't allowed anywhere near those things.
Yeah, it's always been a battle,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, it's that simple. If I'm, especially at the college level, if I'm Kelly Monahan's coach, I'm like, dude, in the off season, you're not snowboarding, you're not riding for, you know what I mean? Like that's
Oh
just
yeah.
me though. Like,
No, trust me, it's always like hey coach,
I'm
family's going on a trip.
No, you're not.
For sure.
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Nope.
It's gross. So
Thank you.
I love cold pineapple. Like I
No,
could eat it
I
all
don't like
day.
cooked fruit. For sure.
No,
Like
it's
pizza,
not-
separate.
Warm is not
Absolutely.
good. It's not good in like Chinese food either. Like in the sauce when it's warm,
Yeah.
I'm not eating it. What's your favorite pizza? Like if you had to order a pizza at the
I really like a supreme meat pizza,
Just
sausage,
everything?
and green peppers.
Yeah, sausage and green peppers go really well
Super
together.
good, yeah.
They really do. I'll order this quite often. White sauce, sausage, green peppers. That's one of my go-tos.
Good.
Outside of pizza, like what's your favorite food? Like if your comfort like food, what are you having?
Italian carbs for sure.
That's what your
Pasta,
teammate said too. It's a
bread.
common answer.
Yeah.
As a team, when you guys go out, do you guys argue about where you're going? Or?
Yes, that is always such a big issue.
It's
Oh my
it
gosh.
always is.
Always.
On every college sports team. Who wins the arguments? The upperclassmen?
Well, usually, yeah, kind of. And
yeah.
then we hear a lot from sophomores, freshmen, but it's like, oh, it's so hard to just choose. We figure it out.
Are you looking forward to food on this trip to Georgia?
Yeah, I'm excited to try something different.
Yeah,
I think everybody's like, let's go eat somewhere we don't have.
it's
here.
one of the cool parts about traveling in college is You go to areas that you may not have never been before,
Right.
and you get to experience their food and their culture. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I think we're all super excited for that.
Going into this this week, the NAIA national tournament over there in Lawrenceville. What's your guys' goal? Like, what do you want out of this?
I think if we play our game, just playing our game, we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Just prove that we're worth it to be there. We have the talent, we have the team, the chemistry, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
I think without putting so much pressure on ourselves, we'll do much better. So if we just play Eastern softball, no worries.
That would be my answer for it as well. You guys have to just clear the table, like
Yeah.
clear your mind completely. Don't even think about
What's
seedings,
next?
what's next, none of that. Just go out there and play it one game at a time.
Yeah,
I think you guys will do just fine as well.
sure.
You personally, ocean, like the beach, or the mountains?
I love this question. I'm gonna say mountains every time.
I kind
Every
of figured that. What about so like on your dirt bike though? Like
Yeah.
sand dunes, ocean, beach area, or mountains?
Quads for sand dunes, and then dirt bikes for mountains.
Dirt bikes. You like them different. Do you have both?
Yeah. Yes.
You have both?
I do have both.
Man. Yeah, like I would not want to be your coach because I'd handcuff you to the bench, like literally. Has that ever been an issue? Like
yeah.
It comes up all the time, right? Like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
you got to be careful. Like you're doing all these like extreme
Yeah.
sports in the off season. You know, a lot of professional contracts,
You can't.
you can't do it at
Yeah,
all.
I
Like
did
they'll
know
write
that.
it right in there. Hey, you're not allowed to ride a motorcycle
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
and they're the reason for it. I mean,
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense. Usually I ride and don't try to push myself during season, or it's totally off season. But
What about your dirt bike? What brand? What are you?
KTM.
KTM. So is that
KTM
red?
family.
What's
What's orange.
KTM's
That's
color?
the bright orange.
Orange. It's all about colors for dirt
Yep,
bike riders.
yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
Like
you see it go
Kawasaki's
by and you're
green,
like, Yamaha.
Honda's one color, Yamaha's one color. Yeah, it's
Team
orange.
orange, yeah.
KTM orange. What size bike do you ride?
250.
Oh, so a big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good sized motorcycle. Cool. Let's play a little this or that.
Oh boy.
McDonald's or Taco Bell?
Oh. Neither? No.
I mean, you can say neither. I would say neither.
I'll go Taco Bell for the Baja Blast.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The Mountain Dew, the green
Yes.
one, is
Yep.
excellent. Warm blanket or a warm cup of hot chocolate?
Warm blanket.
Warm blanket.
Fluffy blanket.
Yeah. East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast.
Have you ever been to the East Coast?
No, I'd love to go, but
It's different culture. I mean,
It's
it's a
very
lot different than we are here. Art museum or a history museum?
art museum.
I think I'd probably do history
Yeah.
myself, just because I like history. I mean,
It's cool
okay,
to know.
Let me rephrase this. I don't like reading about history like as much as I like watching
Seeing it.
documentaries. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, because
That's true.
reading about it's kind of boring. I need like a presentation. Waiting in the merch line at a concert to be the first to get the merch, or seeing the opener.
Depends on the opener, but I gotta go opener.
Yeah.
Experience
of
over
course.
material.
I mean, you can get merch anytime.
Yeah, you
It's
can get fake
You can
or-
even order it online.
Yeah,
If I go to the concert, I'm watching all of it. That's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just all there is to it. I have been to a concert where I was very unimpressed at the opening.
Yeah,
Don't get me
right.
wrong, but sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert?
I think technically both, so I'll go introvert.
So like you're not very personable.
Maybe I am. I say I'm shy, but then I have no problem.
Just from what I know and what I've seen, I think you have
Extrovert.
to you have to get to know you to like you aren't
Yeah.
gonna come up and just talk to me.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm standing there, but once you break the ice, then you're. Speaking of that, what's your favorite prop in the dugout?
Oh my gosh, we have so many.
I know.
We
You gotta
just
pick one.
okay. It's new. It's a big red like chicken that squeaks. Yeah. Have
haven't
you seen
seen
it
it.
yet?
I don't
We
think
had
so.
it at CCC. It was brand new.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it.
Okay, you'll see him. He's coming to nationals.
That's a chicken that squeaks.
Like a
You're allowed to have
rubber chicken?
noisemakers in the dugout.
I don't think so. Like
Yeah,
you're not supposed
I
to do
think it was-
artificial noise
right.
or use the balls on like the dugout, but
Yeah, you guys said the
Yeah.
heck with it. Nice. I mean, I like it.
you'll see him, I'm sure.
I like that. I do. Who's your hero?
Oh man. Personally, like My dad, for sure.
Why?
He just works so hard, and all my hobbies are from him, and just learns something new every day, teaches me something new every day. I think he's the coolest person ever, my biggest inspiration for working hard, being the best person that I am.
Good. I like that. What about softball wise? Do you have like somebody that you try to emulate?
It's kind of a combination of all my past coaches. I think they've all taught me different things, like helped me learn parts of my personality and who I am as an athlete. Yeah. So not necessarily one person, kind of all of them. I give credits to everybody.
In high school, did you play other sports?
I did play volleyball for 1 year, my senior year. It was kind of like a random. I always wanted to play volleyball, but like tournaments.
I think you're tall. You got to be like 5'8" at least.
Yeah.
Right? Probably close. Did you like volleyball?
I did. It was kind of just like a fun, like again, no pressure, just go out there, have fun. But.
Yeah. Okay. I really enjoy volleyball. Like I would have played it if boys could have played it when I was in high school, just because I love it. I think it's like.
It is super fun.
Very like in your face, like a lot of energy.
A lot
I
of
like
action.
Energy sports. Yep. Yeah. What about a superhero? If you had to pick like a superhero, who would you be?
I don't know, I think Iron Man's pretty cool.
Why?
All of the gadgets in the suit.
And he's rich too. He's rich.
Yeah.
Like he's loaded and he has all the
Super
cool
smart.
stuff. Yeah. Iron Man's a good one. What about a superpower? If you could have one superpower.
Teleportation sounds kind of cool. Travel the world.
That's mine.
Get somewhere real quick.
A lot of people say flying, and I'm like, why would you
Why
fly
wouldn't you
when
just
you can
wanna
teleport?
get there?
Yeah, it's like, and then you have to be up there if you're flying.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of being up there.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the being up in the sky. What about you're only a sophomore. You have 2 more years at least of eligibility. What do you like telling, like next year you're an upperclassman? What are you telling the younger people when they come in? Like
Not a whole lot because I just feel still young.
Yeah.
And just letting upperclassmen.
You're going to be an upperclassman.
I know,
next year.
kind of.
You're going to have to get that figured out.
No, I will.
So for you, 5 years in jail or 10 years in a coma?
I feel like 5 years in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my thoughts. I feel like there's a lot of stuff you could do, work out or read. I think that'd be a great,
better
great
yourself.
Thing. Oh yeah.
And in a coma, you would just
miss
atrophy.
so much. Yeah.
If that's a word, I don't know if that's a word or not. What's your favorite thing about softball? What do you love about it?
The team. Just being with my girls and there is ups and downs for sure, but like the adrenaline when you do have success, there's nothing like it. Yeah. It just keeps you going.
Last question, I'll get you out of here. And I ask this same question to everybody. I'm a senior in high school. I'm looking for a place to play softball. Coach Christian says, Kelly, recruit Dodsey to come play softball at EOU. What are you going to tell me?
You're going to love it. We have fun. This team, like chemistry, is like no other. We're here to work hard, but also make memories and make this the most for everybody. Small town, great school, small class sizes. Like you're going to find a home here, not a job. Like softball should be something you enjoy.
Nice. Eastern Oregon, she's EOU sophomore. Eastern Oregon, she's EOU sophomore softball player Kelly Monaghan. I'm Dodsey. Kelly, thank you.
Of course, thank you.
And then finally, the head coach. I've had her on here numerous times. We've known each other since we were kids, and she's doing an awesome job up there with this EOU softball program. And like we talk about in the interview that's coming up, she's definitely getting this team recognized. She's head coach Nicole Christian. Here it is. Nicole, how are you?
Good, Dodds. How are you?
Awesome. Well, I'd say we hit half of the goal, right?
Yeah.
We obviously wanted to be regular season champs. Didn't quite get there. But then maybe that was a good thing. Like, honestly, put a little fire in them for the conference tournament. We go out and just run the table.
Yeah. Obviously everybody's goal is to win the conference hands down. Then you don't go into the conference tournament knowing what if, like what happens, those kind of things. And so, our conference is tough though. You've got to play teams 3 and 4 games. And so being able to be conference winners is great, but I think also going into that tournament and knowing there's the 6 top teams there, we didn't know who we'd face, was also just a huge thing for us. Like, all right, we didn't get it, but this is going to prepare us. We had a great feeling going that we're going to go to nationals after this because of where we were seated. We talked about, okay, this is just fine tuning. This is just getting us ready for that next level. There's, not a lot of pressure. We want to take care of business. And I think they did. They came out. I saw them hyped. I saw them, just a complete different level, playing one game at a time and not worrying about 2 games or 4 games in a day. And so that was huge for us going into that tournament.
Yeah, the tournament, that catch by Kelly, like that was like that. I mean, basically saved the tournament, right?
Yeah, that was a huge catch. I think 2 plays before Kate's hose.
Oh yeah.
You're just like instant, and it's hard. I feel like sometimes our outfield gets overlooked because, of course, when you have 2 pitchers that are, let's face it, top in the nation, and just keeping the runs down, you don't get a lot of balls hit to you.
No.
Majority of our infield gets a ton.
Yeah.
So then when it does happen, it's do or die, or you got to come up with that great throw and that kind of thing. And those were 2 huge plays by Kate and Kelly that just the momentum just put a halt on SOU. That was huge. And perfect timing.
The hard part about that too, being an outfielder when you have really good pitching, is just the mental part. Like, you're just standing out there waiting. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the hardest part about baseball or softball is you might stand out there the whole game and not touch one ball.
Exactly. I think, our outfielders have probably had that this year between all of our outfielders have been in a game where they maybe got 1 ball. The only ball they touched was the ball they were throwing with their partner. And then there's some games where some of our infielders are the same way. And I think that's been the big thing for us is that we are at our best when our defense is ready to go behind our pitchers.
So let's talk about the regular season. What's been the biggest surprise this year?
I think chemistry at first, just because we brought in those 18 new we talked about earlier in the year, not knowing how bringing in 18 new with the returners is how that's going to develop. And I can't express how awesome it's been to watch this group. You always have people that get hurt or leave and that kind of stuff. But the group that we have, this core, is just amazing. Good humans. They get along so well, which, at this point of the year, we've been together since September. We're girls. And you have all those things you have to deal with. And, they want to be hanging out together. They want to be doing things with each other, whether it's camping, and that kind of stuff. Even on their days off, they will still be hanging out with each other, which isn't always the fact when you're coaching women.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest surprise is we're at the end of the year, and I feel like they are just now on that peak of like, heck yes, we're all on the same page. They all want to be at the same destination at the end. Some of them, this is their first trip. Nationals is a lot bigger than, like a high school platform or the NWACs. This is like top in the nation kind of thing, and they're jacked. They're excited, nervous, all those kind of things to be expected. But just that chemistry has been awesome for the whole team.
Has EOU ever been a number 1 seed?
No.
First time ever.
First time ever, number 1 seed.
Even when you played, you guys weren't a 1 seed.
Nope, we got an auto bid in.
Yeah.
And so, first time in history, number 1 seed. We're breaking records left and right. And I've always said from day one, I want to be better than 4 in the nation because that's the top that we've ever been. And I definitely feel like this is a group that has that chance to finish number 1 in the nation.
I agree. I mean, I've watched a lot of NAIA softball, and I pay attention to it. And I mean, yeah, there's some teams that have some great pitching. And as you know, in softball, pitching is so important. I mean, I would even say more so than baseball, just because, the softball game is so fast. It's shorter.
Yep.
Pitching's just super important, and we're right there. I mean, pitching wise, we're the. I'll say it. I'll say it. We have the best duo in the country for sure.
We definitely have the best duo, and I feel like our pitching staff is probably the best in the nation. I feel like even out of our first 1-2 combo, our 3 to 5 could be on these teams that are playing in the nation right now. And that's hard to take if you're a starter, and coming in. And I think that's been an adjustment for some of the girls that transferred into, because we never know what's going to happen when we get here with new pitching staff. Who's going to come out dominating and who's going to, just complement each other. And so with having those other pitchers as well, between throwing BP, I don't care, I can throw them in, whether it's Kylie, or Kaylee. Our next 3 to 5, 3 to 6 are great, and they push those girls even more, and they support each other. And that's the big thing is hey, I may not be getting the innings I thought I'd get this year, because these two are just killing it, and they understand that they're working hard at practice still. They're still pushing each other. They're ready when they need to be called upon. And that's kind of the big thing about competing that we've been trying to build here at Eastern is we want to have an ace at the 1 and the 2 hole, because if something happens, then we still have another number 1 right there ready to go. Right. And that's kind of been, I think, the difference these past couple years is getting top athletes in multiple spots, not just one person.
So when we talk about the workload, Kaylee and Kylie have carried 90% probably of the workload. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'd say close to 90%. How do you keep those other 4 or 5 pitchers, the 3 through 6 that you talk about, motivated? What are you saying to them?
I mean, I think just getting in at practice, seeing our hitters, knowing that there's chances, you have to prepare. We can't just be blindsided and going in and be like, oh, nothing could ever happen. Right. We've seen injury year this whole season. We've seen people go down with injury, and having that confidence coming in. And I feel like we do have one of the best hitting groups in the nation. We've got 7 or 8 above 300, which is hard to do in hitting, but having those pitchers pitch to us live at practice, going through their workouts daily, and maybe shutting down our hitters is huge for us. We're like, man, that girl's changeup is on fire, right now, and that might be something we need. Maybe we're seeing, we see a lot of different hitters coming up this tournament, and so it's just making sure that everybody's on point where they need to be, to where even if it's an inning, maybe if it's 2 batters that can't hit a changeup, and we need to throw one of those pitchers in, they can do it. Yeah. And just trying to give them that confidence as well, because obviously it's not the game competition, but hitting against us. And then this year we lost a lot of 4-game series, and that's where those 4 games, those girls get more innings. And we, I think maybe 3 out of all the series this year, we got to a 4th game. Everything else was canceled. And so that hurt us a lot as well, is being able to get some of those girls those innings in that 4th game. And so trying to do it at practice and continue to work with our pitching coach day in and day out and our catchers, that's, they've been great.
Here's a question for you. If you look at that 2000 team that you were on that finished 4th in the nation, what's the common, what's the thing that's most similar about those 2 teams?
Robin Lesak and Katie Barnett. Robin Lesak, up ball pitcher, very similar to Kaylee, and then here comes Katie with the drop ball changeup.
And it's almost identical.
Kaylee, and then that drop ball is like Kylie. And then you just plug in the pieces. I try to think I still think right now.
You guys don't have a Nicole Christian. You don't have a you.
But I hate to say it. I think the team that I have right now would beat us.
You do?
I do, just because of
pitching.
Just the overall team.
They don't have a you though on this team.
It's not all about one you.
I know, but they don't have this. Your team today doesn't have somebody that's going to go up there and hit 400 and hit 15 home runs.
No, but the game's changed as well. You know that.
Changed quite a bit.
And we've got so many dimensions, and I think that's what makes us tough. We're not you can't be like, oh, this girl, I'm going to pitch around her. We saw Lola Walker one of their top hitters just get walked.
Yeah.
You continue to watch, other teams just like Jessup, for example. They've got their corners that hit bombs in their center fielder. They have 3 hitters in their lineup that you can pitch around and win games. I don't feel like you can do that in our roster. You've got 1 through 9, at any given time can lay down a bunt, that can hit, that can, go for a home run. You look down our lineup and we've got girls multiple with home runs.
So pitching around people get you.
You
in
just
trouble.
can't pitch around us,
Right.
and and that's what I love about them. Like, we don't have that. What kind of is the one factor that defines us? We have great pitching. I feel like our hitting has improved over the years that I've been here in 5 years. And then we've always tried to have great defense behind our pitchers. And so it's just this year as a whole, and we always say it, 1 through 25 players that we have, we are just better. And they get along and they want to be there. They want to compete. They want to win. And that's what I love about them.
What do you think your teammates from 2000 would say about
They're
that?
probably going to, my phone's probably going to blow up in a few.
and Miley's. And,
They'll probably blow me up. I mean, that's how it is. Sometimes,
like, we would smoke you guys. What are you
I
talking
think it would
about?
be a great battle. How about that? Like, if we go back.
I would want to see you coach against Angie. That would be fun.
Oh my gosh.
That would be fun.
Shirley always comes at me about, don't you change your signs? Because I'm pretty sure they're the same from when I played, but.
Probably.
Yeah. But no, it's just one of those things where we had so much talent and there's so many glimpses of that program, and I just love like being able to sit back and like watch this group, because that's what it's about. Like coming back to Eastern, I wanted the softball program to be successful, go back to nationals, compete, and start being known as one of the best teams in the nation, and we're getting there. And between NAIA softball and, I think our final out got posted on Softball America, which had so many views, and even with Regan at NAIA, like EOU's getting on the map, and that's huge. That is huge. And that's what I want, and I'm starting to get more emails. I'm starting to get more of those things where at first we had the search for a lot of players. And now these girls, the girls that we're coaching right now, are making it to where girls want to come to Eastern and play. Yeah. And that's what it's about.
It's called building culture.
Exactly.
And that's huge. And we knew it was, at least I knew it was only a matter of time. It just takes a little bit of time to get that momentum and to bring in the right players. You're talking about 4 years worth of players, right? Because you have freshman through senior.
Yep.
So it takes a little bit of time to filter it, and to get people in place. And right now, EOU softball's in, I would argue it's probably in the best place it's ever been. Even compared to back then. Just with the momentum and the exposure that you guys are getting. What are you telling the girls about this? You guys are leaving tomorrow to head to Lawrenceville for the first round of the NAIA tournament. What are you telling them? Like, how are you keeping them cool and calm?
I think, I'm very much try to keep my cool, and I think they're not afraid to be like, man, you're stressing me out. If I start stressing out, and I'll step back. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a little stressed out too. We all get that way, because at the end of the day, we want to win. We want a red banner. I think just going in there and them realizing like, all right, this is we're here. This is where our goals were, and reminding them. I'm pretty sure this last weekend was just like a natty tournament. That's why, like, when I talk with Jess in our conference, and I talk with Greg and Al and those teams that are there, our conference is the best in the nation. So
100%.
Before we go down and play a national tournament, we didn't have a cakewalk. We just played tough teams,
right,
1 through 6. And I feel like some of these teams aren't going to be the same as those teams we just played this last weekend. And knowing that we've already played a conference national tournament, went 3-0. This is just another day in the books, another teams we don't know. I'm excited we get the day break. We can go and scout. Both those sets of pools have to burn their ace to get
right
to
off
us
the hop.
right
Yep.
off the top. And so I'm not really stressed. I feel like these girls know what they want to do. They're peaking at the right time. I've been in enough between high school championships and competitive games. and Woody too. You know, we've talked a lot about, well, we need the peak at the right time.
100%.
And you got to have a little bit of luck, you know, and those are things that I feel like we're right now, we're on it. We're on that track. I'm not stressed out. I feel like these girls are swinging the ball or swinging the bat well. They're just having fun playing, and that's like the big thing, because these girls, when they're having fun playing, is you just sit back and watch, and it's awesome to watch them play.
Yeah, when you say the CCC is the best conference in the country, I agree 100%. I undoubtedly, when we win this pool, we're playing another CCC team down the road.
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee it.
We have a chance at putting the West Coast on the map in Georgia with 4 teams from Cascade Conference winning their pool. I feel like Jessup has a shot at winning their pool. Hope International's down there, you know, playing Olu, which is obviously a tough bout. But that's 6 of the 10 teams that could be from the West Coast.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. I mean, all of us left CCC tournament was like, see you in Georgia. That's our plan. That's our goal, is all of us to be at the final site representing the Cascade Conference.
I mean, and it's very possible, but very, very doable. With this team this year, there hasn't been, like, I kind of feel like we were shorted on games for one thing. Like you talked about missing that 4th game. When I look at like other schools, like and look at like statistics, there's teams with like over 55 games. Like,
I know.
It's crazy, and we sit here at 45. Like,
Yeah.
Do you think does that have any impact, or you know, I'm mainly talking about like when it comes to like ranking and like, you know, players of the year, this kind of stuff. I kind of feel like it does a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, in regards to maybe some of those games for CCC, I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of, like maybe those stats, because we lost out, you know, like on a Warner Pack and a Corbin or something like that, to where there's one extra game for those stats. And then we had a couple rain out in the fall, in preseason, and we lost one in Cali. We lost one in Central Washington. But it wasn't just us. A lot of our CCC opponents lost games too. I think, you know, some of them are down 8 to 10 games. So on the stat side and awards, I don't think it really means too much. It might mean we're fresher. Our bodies have not handled another 8 more games that this one pitcher has just thrown all 8 games. You know, Georgia Gwinnett's got an ace.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at.
So does Olu.
Olu's got an ace. Yeah. But guess what? That if they're at 55 games and we're sitting at 35 and my 2 pitchers are only 12 games in, they're a lot fresher than everybody else. Yeah, and that's what I like, that I don't feel like we're burnt out. You know, and we've been able to give some of those girls breaks in a key game just to save their arms for this moment, you know, and those little things that matter when you get down to the end of the season where all those late injuries happen.
So, I mean, I guess, what's the goal? I mean, we know what the goal is, but I want to hear you say it. What are we going to Georgia for?
I want to win a red banner. I want to take first in the nation. I think I want to put. I want us to feel like we finally got the recognition that we haven't had between. You know, it took us a long time just to break the top 10. You know, after beating all year, we beat Jessup, who was ranked 2.
Smacked OIT around.
You know,
beat them 10-0.
I know, and I think that's been kind of a fire too for the girls. Is like, hey, they just don't want to put us up there, you know. And at the end of the day, the best way to show them is go out there and win games, and that's what we talked about. You know, like. I felt like we were a little disappointed on award side of things for our program being number 2 and having a chance to win conference in regards to individual stuff. And when we got to practice, we had, I mean, it's going to be one of those things. We practiced that day. The girls, I hate it.
Some of them are pissed.
I hate it. They announce it when we're on the bus. Everybody reads it, and then we're here to go to practice, and then I've got, you know, all this energy, you know, people mad, people hurt, disappointed, and then you have to like
reel them
all in, and we did. We had you know, I might have got a little upset because of attitudes after practice the first 30 minutes, you know, and I'm like, at the end of the day, that's not what you're going to remember. You know, I don't even know what I got. You know, like I think about what I remember is going to the airport, being so mad after we lost nationals, throwing my cleats away, like those little things, you know, that's what I want them to focus on, is That's just a little thing right there.
Nobody in 20 years, nobody's going to care about that little plaque that you have dusty in your wherever you keep it.
I want us to be that team that they're like, man, they are one of the top teams in the nation, and we come out of this first level and be successful, like I think we will, and have that shot to be. Don't get me wrong, this pool's tough.
Oh, your pool's definitely tough.
I feel like it's one of the tougher teams. Southeastern's got 156 stolen bases, but again, what kind of pitching is Southeastern seen to be able to get on base?
They haven't seen Kaylee and Kylie.
And that's
I
the thing. And that's the thing. Like we talk about, you cannot prepare for our pitching staff.
No.
And you can scout them, but until you step in that box, it's a whole nother story for both of our 1-2 combo and then our bullpens. And
you guys only lost one series all year, right?
The last one.
Southern, yeah.
Yep.
Which credit to Southern. Southern is one of the hottest teams in the conference right now.
Yep.
I mean, they showed that at the CCC.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jess does it. That's why she's one of the best coaches in the nation.
I wasn't even thinking about them going into the tournament. Like you probably, I hate to say it.
I do.
Yeah, you were, but
I knew.
I wasn't. Like,
I know.
I'm like, we got all these other, and then what does Southern do? They just they come, they beat OIT. They beat OIT twice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's where, this team won. Yes, it's missing a couple players, but.
Well, I mean, it's missing Riley Donovan.
Yeah,
too,
Riley Donovan, Williams, and Acosta, like top 3 players.
Yeah.
But she always gets them, like she has enough experience. They always are getting on time right now. Yep. And, when we saw that.
They're scary even going into this national
Yes, we saw them when we went to Southern. And I'm like, man, I feel like, oh yeah, we did just play Southern 5 times 6 times in 2 weeks. Yep. And so we got a real dose of Southern. And like you said, they are one of the top of the nation. So going into this weekend, we just saw a bunch of slappers that have lightning speed, and we had to adjust defense due to it. Because again, once you see them the first time, it's hard to adjust, and you got to make some adjustments and stuff. And so going into CCC
you have to play
tournament,
tighter defense, that's for sure.
Yeah, and going into the CCC tournament, we knew that we made adjustments. We ended up having to beat them twice, and we did. And so it's just one of those things where we know what we're going to see. I'm glad we get to see them Monday. Take some notes, do our scouting, get to see the pitchers in person, whatever we can do to scout them before, and find out who we play. Because that's been the big thing. We go to practice this week, and I'm like, well, we really can't prep for 5 teams all in one day.
No.
So, defense-wise, we got some slappers. We've got some speed we're going to see. We know we're seeing rise ball pitchers left and right. Very similar to Venner from Carroll. And so almost every single team that we have in our pool are rise ball pitchers. There's a lefty rise, and so we're just going to do some tracking and that kind of stuff and get things tightened in and have a game plan in the box and go out there and play softball because at the end of the day, they're an amazing team.
Yeah. Last question.
Yeah.
So like one of the things that I think is important, outside of softball is just enjoying the trip. You know what I mean? Like soaking it all in. Like you're going there to win a national championship, but it's also like a once in a lifetime, thing for some of these young ladies. What do you tell them about that? Like, what are you telling them how do you kind of find that line?
I know. Still searching, but I mean, I got 6 hours in the airport.
Yeah.
On a layover tomorrow.
I'll text you. I'll bother you. Don't worry.
No, that's kind of one thing that I think I really dropped the ball on my first year nationals. I was so like, oh, we're here. Let's, I don't know what we need to do, but we're not doing, we're not all over the place. And I feel bad for those girls that we went 2 years ago. And, I want to be able to experience this a little bit more and enjoy it. And I think that will help the overall experience probably even play a little bit better instead of.
I agree.
But we also were like, hey, I don't know what's around our hotel. Like, we got to have a little bit of just relax, play it by ear a little bit when we get down there. And we've had some of those conversations with the team. Like, don't expect to have a written out itinerary yet because I've never been to Georgia, and no one else, and it's a new thing for us. And so we're definitely looking for some things to do, just to make it memorable, and enjoy being there because a lot of teams are done. A lot of teams are not playing.
There's a lot of people whose softball careers are over.
Yep.
I mean,
They're
anybody,
done.
Yeah,
We're one of the 48 teams left. And we get a chance to go and play some more softball in some weather that's not 29 degrees.
No, it's going to be 80.
It might be a little hot.
Right? I love it. I think the NAIA should have like a volunteer from like the host team. So like a mom or something of one of the players or just somebody that lives in the community for each team that comes for the pool as like their liaison.
Oh, to help them out.
Yeah,
That'd
to help
be
them
kinda
out.
cool.
Show them where the cool stuff is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like here's a good place to eat and here's why, or here's what we like to do for fun.
And that's one thing we for sure are going to reach out on the food side and get to better restaurants because
I know these girls like
they
food.
love their food.
Yeah, pasta, all of them.
All of them love Dr. Pepper.
It's crazy.
I know
do.
Dr. Pepper. If I just had two cases of Dr. Pepper,
Dr. Pepper,
it's
right?
fountain Dr.
Has to be
Pepper.
fountain.
No, I think we've got a ton of parents coming. I think there's at least I had 10 or 12 players raise their hand with family members coming. And so that's huge, getting them down there for support. And then we also are making it to where we're going to try to go to all these places, dinner or events with the parents, grandparents. And so we can do a big Mountie family and go to those events because it is, like you said, it's amazing. You earned it. You know, it's, this is why you work so hard. Obviously, it's not our last point. We want to go on beyond this.
Final sight, baby.
And we do have a business when it comes time to game time, but also just being able to wow, this is like the first step where we wanted to be, and you guys did it, and we're not done yet.
I hope we can get to the point, EOU softball-wise, where we're hosting one of those.
Yes, that would be that would be ultimately, we thought we would have a chance, and we probably would have if our venue was a little more updated. But you look at this website where some of these venues are being hosted, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, but no, that's the goal. We want to be in the top 10. We want to be an OIT that just rolls out of bed and gets the host.
Yeah.
That would be huge for us.
Don't even win your conference tournament, but you get to host.
Yeah, you get to stay. You get to save money. Yeah. You don't have to go across the states. But no, that would be ultimately our goal, is to continue to build that program, get that support from the community, and it's coming. I feel like we're getting more of all levels of fans in our games. It's awesome to see those types of games. And for a while, some of the people didn't even know you could come watch us for free. And so then
it's crazy. It's free.
I know. I was like, it's free. Like, if you don't have anything to do, come out and watch great softball. Like, these girls are the best in the nation right now. And so it's getting there. It's never easy to start a program, at one level and try to get it to the next. And so these girls that we have in this year have been great in working with the youth, and those kind of things. And so now we're slacking a little bit on the money.
I was just going to bring that up because you guys are going to be gone, and you guys are in a playoff run right now. Obviously, you're been. How do they do that? Bleed blue, give gold.
Yeah. So watch our Instagram page, Facebook this week. We are
EOUSB.
Yep, EOUSB. We are going to be posting some videos about the bleed blue, give gold, and try to donate. I heard volleyball got a pretty big donation today.
Does that surprise you?
Well, it's khaki.
Yeah.
And volleyball. They're amazing.
When that came out, I'm like, why hasn't khaki got on there and said something yet? Because she could get. And that comes with success.
Yes,
it does. I mean, it's that simple.
So our goal is $10,000. Obviously, we've been a little busy and traveling, and then we leave tomorrow. So I think they've got some things planned for today's practice airport time. While we're in Georgia, get out some videos to help.
Instagram at EOUSB.
Yes, we got to raise 10 grand. 10 grand or more would be huge for us. It goes to the program. All that, any bit helps.
Love it. Well, I'm going to be rooting for you guys, that's for sure.
It's free, too, these games this weekend.
Are they really?
Yeah. Grizzlies got, Georgia Gwinnett has a free network, so
it's free to watch.
Free to watch the national games. So
that's
that
awesome.
Hopefully we had a
Save
good
$8
showing.
a game.
I know.
I love it.
I know.
Eastern Oregon, she's EOU head softball coach Nicole Christian. I'm Dodzy. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Let's go. Let's go make an impact in this tournament in Georgia, and let's bring home a red banner. None of this is possible without Hobby Habit. Go check them out, 411 First Street in LeGrand, just for the fun of it. Eastern Oregon, that's all I got for you on a Friday. I appreciate you. I'm Dodsey, and I'm out.